Dave, you need to go to the bathroom, get a drink or anything?
Coffee?
Yeah.
No, I got it right here.
Is there really infrared paint? I feel like I should know this.
Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gift of beauty, rich and rare.
I'm actually insulted. I don't know about you, Dave, but I'm actually insulted.
I'm waiting to see where this is going.
That's it. That's all I was going to do, because no one else except the two of you are going to get that, and maybe Chris.
No worries.
Wait, why are you insulted?
Because you had no harmony whatsoever. That's okay. That's like me.
You don't
like,
want listen.
And that's like me
Shatner-esque poetry
intentionally.
reading is the good. That's the good version of my singing. Okay,
right.
You don't want to hear me sing. We're going to go
That's
back
like
to
me,
like 2015.
Arthur, that's like me intentionally making the American Pledge of Allegiance incorrect and awful.
No,
you know
so,
what I mean?
let me ask Spoon and Ponder. Like, if Dave or I just started like word speaking halfway through Star Spangled Banner, would you feel insulted at all? I don't know.
And the rockets, red glare, the bombs bursting.
So here's
in
the thing,
air
though, is I have a very interesting. Well, I mean, maybe it's not very interesting, but I have a
I'm interested, Spoon. Tell me.
A controversial opinion of the Pledge of Allegiance and I don't know. I guess whatever.
You know, it got changed, right?
Is. Yeah,
they added some scary stuff.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's like people don't realize how fucking weird it is, and
that's because they grew up with it every single day.
Yeah, all the kids in our school system at the beginning of every day stand up and recite a pledge.
Now, see, we're not the only country to do that. But rather than pledging to the country, we pledge to the flag, which I think is why people are flag maniacs, man. Mm-hmm. That shit's bizarre. I don't mind America, but when people are like, the flag, man, the flag is everything, and I'm like, it's not everything.
Nobody fucking understands flag code anyway.
That's no different to what we do in Australia, though.
You get, listen, I was a Boy Scout. We understood flag code. You better not let that shit hit the ground, okay?
Yeah.
You better not put it on any merchandise. Yes. It better not be on your booty or your boobs, okay? It doesn't belong there, and it's against the U.S. code.
So it's no different from what we did in Australia, basically. Every morning we would get up and we would point north to the giant billabong in Australia, and you know, everyone would wear their cork hats, and
everybody goes, "Oh, Dingle ate your baby, eh?"
No. We would have the ceremonial knife fight. All right, every morning.
While two people play the didgeridoo in a corner.
I still remember as a kid in the 80s getting my first Olympics computer game, you know, where it was like 8-bit graphics and PC speaker sound. But when your country won, it would play your national anthem. And when I first won with Australia, it didn't play the Australian national anthem. It played Waltzing Matilda instead, which is not the Australian national anthem. But that's obviously what the developers had figured out.
But it's pretty good, though. I mean... What would the U.S. version of that be, though? I'd probably be very upset.
In West Virginia, the anthem for it, the anthem for it is not actually Country Roads. It's actually something completely different, which I don't even remember at this point.
Is it Old Country Road by Little Nas or whatever the fuck it is?
No, that's first off, that doesn't even take place in West Virginia. That takes place in like fucking Nevada, right?
Neither of those Country Roads does, because it's more akin to.
Isn't the West Virginia state song "Oh Shenandoah"?
I don't remember.
All right, that's it. I'm Googling it, so I already look like I'm wrong I'm wrong.
Country Roads, the meme song, essentially, from Fallout 76, it's more akin to Virginia.
No, sorry, it's called the West Virginia Hills. Have I ever actually heard this fucking song?
Probably not.
Oh,
unless you're
eat
just
shit,
like
eat shit, Pondo, take me home, Country Roads is the official West Virginia song since 2014.
Okay, I lost faith in my
state. Is that real?
Then.
I can't believe that's true.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
I can. That's the problem.
The source is Time Magazine. I mean,
okay. Magazine.
List of U.S. state songs. All right, here we go.
The Australian national anthem is a song about all the things that we should be proud about the country having. Whereas Waltz of Matilda is a song about a livestock thief choosing to commit suicide rather than get caught by the law.
Yeah.
So
but Waltzing Matilda sounds good until you understand what all the words. It's like a Lady Gaga song, right?
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Or Gotham style.
West Virginia has 4 state songs.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Pick one, okay? These motherfuckers. I remember when they changed the state motto from Wild and Wonderful to Open for Business for like 2 days until the governor was flooded with people protesting. That governor, now U.S. Senator Joe Manchin. What a fucking idiot. Open for Business. That's not a state motto, okay? Jesus.
That's Nebraska's. No.
That's
No,
not
that
the
was
Nebraska
Virginia.
state
Shit.
motto.
Yeah, y'all didn't pay attention in civics class. I can still tell you what the Kansas state song and state motto is.
Oh, we didn't go anything in West Virginia and civics.
I
Listen,
don't even live
Eighth
there
grade
anymore.
class that had West Virginia in it, and that was about it.
Yeah.
We talked about Hatfield McCoys and some things about West Virginia. That was about it.
What?
Yeah.
Do they teach West Virginia history through Hatfield and McCoy?
No, that's about the only
Jesus
thing I
Christ. You
remember.
better listen. Any West Virginia history that doesn't start with Harper's Ferry is a fucking travesty.
James, do you want to have our own conversation or something?
Yeah. While the Americans argue.
Look, we got to get started with this, okay? I was just going to do 3 lines from the Australian national anthem to like cheer up my Australian friends here. And then it became a thing where they thought I was making fun of them. That we got here.
Why are we cheering? I'm already happy. What's going on?
Okay, good,
Are you
excellent.
concerned for my mental health?
Listen, I'm concerned about everyone's fucking mental health, okay? I go outside and I'm like, I don't know any of you. Don't get near me. I don't know what you stand for. You better be wearing something over your mouth.
At this point in time, it looks like Chris and I will probably be in the US at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
What a terrible choice you've made.
Let's hope
Stay
you go
home.
home again. Yeah.
For the folks at home, the Nebraska state motto is equality before the law, not open for business, the dumbest state motto in existence.
There was apparently a state motto that didn't bode so well before that they fired the person who made it. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to ask Cotton that.
When they say equality before the law, do they mean like equality in the face of the law, or do they mean like equality trumps law?
I don't know.
It's about legal egalitarianism, according to Wikipedia. It is the principle that all people must be equally protected by the law.
Okay, well, if Wikipedia says it, then we know it's true.
Okay,
Oddly,
undergraduate teacher Grimdark James.
I mean, where are you going to get it
Brad
from? The
himself said
encyclopedia?
that a good starting point was Wikipedia.
Oh.
That's the weird part.
Wikipedia is a good starting point because you
Yeah.
look at the fucking references at the bottom and then you
but
reference them.
just don't reference Wikipedia. That's it. Pro tip for students out there: don't reference Wikipedia.
Essentially,
Yeah, just check which reference Wikipedia is referencing.
Guys, it's
and then just use
2021. Okay, there's no way that students are growing up without being know how to fucking reference things on the internet. They taught us that in high school in 2000 and Jesus, when did I graduate? 4? Well, not graduate. All right. Let's get back on track rather than talk about countries and the sordid history of education.
I agree.
Henley, you look like you're eating something, so I figure we should jump to you.
Hello, it is me, the guy. I don't know.
I gotta say, Henry,
Battlefield
I'm
came out.
loving the old man cardigan. By the way,
Yeah,
it's
it definitely seems to have aged.
Look, I've very suddenly fallen into a big wool thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, so the about to be a dad thing's kicking in. Got it.
I mean, that might be it.
He's nesting. He's nesting, guys.
nesting. Yep.
He's creating his den.
I mean, I did create my dad.
Now, have
You
been
rearrange the
getting-
furniture, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you suddenly noticed that you've been getting cravings as of late?
Like what?
Pickles and ice cream.
How did you just talk and mute at the same time? Like, how is that physically possible?
Pondo is
I don't know.
extremely
Did you reach
skilled.
out and hit it and hit the button? Like,
I heard her start making noise, so I instinctively pressed the mute button. But essentially, I started like randomly wanting just mozzarella sauce, whatever way I get it, pizza, mozzarella sticks, yada yada yada. But she had no specific cravings other than wanting ice cream randomly in the middle of the night when I couldn't get it.
Listen, I've known Cotton for a while. I don't know that is a new thing.
so I don't know if my wife had cravings or not, but like, she's Polish, so like she'll be like, "Oh, I really want to eat this disgusting travesty of a meal."
Wow, listen to this shit talker.
I mean, look, if you want to eat like chicken soup in jelly form, go right ahead, Arthur. Like, you can eat that.
Pierogies? You're gonna talk shit about pierogies?
That's not pierogi, my dude.
Pierogies are traditional Polish cuisine.
Yes, but they're also
Kielbasa.
not filled with gelatin.
All right.
Yeah.
What's that soup?
Anyway,
Zurich?
Zurich is all right.
Yeah.
It's not so bad.
This motherfucker talking shit.
But anyway, so Battlefield came out. It's okay.
But it was awful.
It's okay. I mean, I don't know. Who'd you hear that from?
The internet.
Yeah. The internet is never happy these days. That's kind of the problem. Like, imagine you played a game and you thought it was okay, and then you go onto the internet to see if people collaborate with you on that sort of feeling, and then they tell you that your enjoyment of this game was incorrect.
That's the victim,
You know?
Andromeda.
Yeah. I actually did like it. I mean, look, the ending actually brought everyone back together for that final moment. But, you know, it wasn't everything it could be. That's true.
I mean, to be fair,
Multiplayer
that
was
game
awesome.
that game launched in a very terrible state, and I never gave it a second chance. So, especially with the faces. Oh my god. But
Okay, I watched Ruby, so I dealt with it.
Wow. All right. We should talk shit about Ruby for like 20 minutes real quick.
I could do it. Don't trust me. I could. You don't
I
want to
could
do
too,
that.
but let's not.
I've done it for
when
an
the
hour.
when the porn is better animated than the TV show, you know there's a fucking problem, right?
Wow. What a bold yet controversial statement.
I don't know if
What a
it's that
stance to
controversial.
take. What a stance to take.
It's bold. I don't know about controversial because he's probably right.
Very much right. Have you seen that show?
No. Well, yes, I've seen the show. I haven't seen the porn.
Anyway, so I don't know. Battlefield was fun. I had fun with it. I'm still going back to Back for Blood every once in a while. They're adding another fucking difficulty to that game, as if it wasn't hard enough already.
Look, Henley, you, me, Cotton, Pondo, we should get together and do Veteran. I feel really bad though because I definitely dragged Pondo and Cotton down on Veteran.
Yeah, you
like,
turn into a Holly.
Me?
Holly player. Yeah.
Wow, Pondo, you have said
sorry.
a lot of things to me before, but that is the most insulting thing you have ever. This means war between us.
AP,
I'll tell
You
kept
woke up and
running,
you chose violence. I want you to understand that.
AP, you kept on running in front before everybody was ready.
Yeah,
But that's my
So
thing. That's all. That's my thing in every game. You're
Not
trying
in
to
veteran
curb
mode.
my animal
not
instincts.
on veteran. You take your time on veteran.
So the thing is, like, I had to stop playing because I tried Veteran with pubs. Oh
It was
my
awful.
god!
We all know. We know.
Yeah.
It was like it's next to impossible. Like the moment someone like the thing with Veteran, it's very much like the original Left 4 Dead super hard mode. Like in that things just always happen that are bad, but the players in this game, they just quit when something bad happens to them in the game. It's like, what are you doing? I mean, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
In this game, like that's the whole point. You're supposed to like crawl through the shit, right? That's the point of the game. So I don't know. It's still a really fun game. They're adding so much cool shit to it all the time, and they're fixing all the stuff. Like they did a live stream the other day, and I watched the developers just talk about like the systems of the game. That is an insanely complicated system that they've built. Like absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
I
I kind of hope they add a little bit more guns to add a little bit more variety.
They're adding a lot more interesting stuff. Like they're adding 2 new heroes and a bunch new guns and more levels, like more extended levels, as well as a new difficulty and like 7 new infected types and some other shit like that. Like they're adding a bunch of shit to that game. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you what, like it's kind of funny because I was playing with Floof the other day and I was like, hey man, yeah, I'll play with that. You want to do veteran? And he's like, no, I still haven't beat easy. I was like, I actually looked up the Steam achievements to see how many people have actually beaten Nightmare mode, and it's like less than 1% of the player base has beaten Nightmare mode. So I think when they're adding the new difficulty, they're going to add like a slot between either veteran and Nightmare or easy and veteran, right? I'm not sure which one they'll do.
It's like a huge
veteran's
jump.
A huge jump, yeah.
It's from not even just like adding friendly fire, but having where you only have 1 free charge from the med cabinets, which apparently the bots just ignore, which is interesting. So you can keep tagging and they'll get healed.
Yeah, you can ping it and they'll heal, right? But
yeah, and they ignore at least visibly, from what you can tell. I don't know if they actually pay the cost or not. Mm-hmm. But it seems like they ignore the charge for it, so you can just go heal them up. It's what me and Cotton did whenever we found a health station.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah,
because Cotton and I got pretty far. I think before AP joined us, we just finished the jukebox mission, which at that point I had like 4 slots in offensive equipment and just got a bunch of razor wire, which
it helps. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
I think the furthest I've made it with the pickup games is literally just the end of Act 1, like the boat. My God.
Yeah.
With pickup groups is like, fuck, dude. Anyway,
it's definitely you have to take your time with it.
I would kill to have regular sessions of Back for Blood. I really would. Of like a group that wants to like just nail down like a system or something for veterans. So because I really want to try out Nightmare. But boy, oh boy, I can always guarantee you that there'll be no one playing that. That is actually like, you know, there'll be people playing it, but there'll be people with groups of people, right? Like, there's no way that they would be like, yeah, I'm just up for a quick round of Nightmare mode on Back for Blood with random people. Nah, no one's gonna do that shit. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, what else can I tell you? I mean, we're doing a round of investment for the next game. And this one will be like a 2-year thing. So we're talking like millions in order to like budget the project out. And that'll be fun. Like staffing up for that right now is like a really complicated process because we have to look for a technical lead, like an artist lead, but also they need to have a good understanding of how engine stuff works, but also human anatomy, because we're going from anime to like, you know, somewhat realistic proportions. And we've got some leads, but it's a complicated process. It really is. Like, anyway, yeah, that's me. I also moved my furniture around.
There you go, Pando.
Nothing much. Finally did the second chapter of mine for Dawn Agreement. And yeah, I've been doing some 3D printing stuff.
Oh, speaking of, those guys finally got back to me after like 2 weeks. Let's move to the next stage of email tech. Oh my God, I can't believe how long this has taken.
Yeah, we're going from plan to plan to actually planning.
If I wanted to do this, I'd still be in the corporate sector. What else you got, Pondo?
I'm printing that model to make that video for that interview.
Perfect.
So, I finished the scripting for the first video of my making a XCOM like campaign deal that I talked about a couple months ago.
Yeah. You've been talking about it a lot. I want to see results.
Yeah,
Give me.
at some point I'll start recording on it. I don't know when.
So this is going to be like so this is something you're going to stream, is it, or at least record and put up on?
Record and put up on YouTube.
Yeah, because this is where I thought before, like an XCOM campaign could make a really interesting audience participation campaign by letting the audience do things like the research.
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
So this first video is going to be getting a lot of the basic mechanics of it in, like figure out how to do that, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'll have probably have some later videos going into more depth about it.
Look, guys, I know how XCOM and audience participation works. Some guy's going to die, and the chat is just going to have the next guy change his name and appearance to match that guy. And you're just always going to have a Ronald McDonald in your party permanently with giant poofy red clown hair. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's what the audience wants.
See, my thought on it is, well,
Pondo, hear me out, Pondo.
Yeah, I'm listening.
NFT characters.
No, we're done. We're done. Show's over.
Well, we
have
good
no
run,
support
fellas. Yeah.
Ever since it came out like 2 days ago that the guy who invented NFTs was like, yeah, there's no way to secure the image. They knew from the beginning that it was just a giant fucking scam. Incredible. So stupid. I'm about to make a bold statement. If you're into NFTs, stop watching me now. I'm going to do nothing but make fun of you forever.
We only deal with fungible tokens here.
We only deal with fungusable tokens, okay? I deal in mushrooms. But what else do you have?
Not much. I hadn't gotten to do much else after the past couple weeks since the last time we played. Yeah. I had Dawn Agreement earlier this week. That went pretty well. As well as
I disagree, but okay.
I rolled badly, I'll admit.
Yeah. It happens to us all.
Pretty straight, below average, but somehow meeting 10 quite a bit. The other times I just rolled shite.
Another secret, Pondo? Never roll. Never put yourself in a situation where you have to roll.
Unfortunately, I'm in a situation where I have to roll. That's...
Got wolves chasing you? Swim until they drown.
You know, speaking of someone whose episode of Dawn Agreement had some bad rolls, Spoon.
I mean, my rolls were fantastic.
I didn't say your rolls. I just said rolls.
Yeah.
I was specific.
Yeah, correct. Let's see what I also had an episode of Dawn Agreement earlier this week that went pretty well for me. All things considered.
Don't spoil it. I'm watching it. I'm half way through. I was worried you're going to die, and now I'm not worried anymore.
Well, someone does die. And yeah,
that's like saying, "Hey, man, go watch The Sixth Sense. You'll really like the twist at the end."
I would do that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though, because you're not telling them what the twist is, and they're going to come up with something like
but now they're expecting
in their head.
Now they're expecting like something to change drastically at the end of the movie, and
but that's being like, hey, you want to go ride this roller coaster? There's a huge drop in it somewhere. It's like, we all know it's like, come on, man. Like, it was
an M. Night Shyamalan film,
yeah.
When you go watch The Village, you won't expect it when it comes. Oh my god. Woo.
Like, if you know anything about movies and you go to watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie without expecting some sort of twist, you're doing something wrong.
But The Sixth Sense was pretty early in his portfolio, though.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I think the only movie I've seen didn't have a twist. Go ahead.
I got a twist for you. I got a twist. I won't say the name of the movie. They escape into aliens attacking. What movie could it be? find out yourself by checking out every movie in existence and come back to me with your guesses.
Independence Day? I don't fucking know.
No, the aliens are at the beginning. They're the whole movie.
I don't know.
Yes.
Now let me be
Aliens
clear.
attacking.
Independence Day is one of the finest American movies ever created.
Yes, it is.
What if we didn't have an Independence Day before the aliens attacked?
Chat's got it. Chat has it.
Yeah, Pathfinder. That was my guess too. Cloverfield Lane. Yeah.
Yeah. The twist at the end was that there actually was a disaster all along.
Yeah.
Forgot about that part of the story, didn't you?
But otherwise, you know, not a lot going on. Worked a bunch this week, so glad to be here to blow off some steam and enjoy myself by hopefully pummeling things with double power fists. We'll see.
Yet to be determined.
Yeah, TBA.
Halfway through
Might
the
be
second, you realize your
singular.
shoes are untied and go, how do I tie my shoes now with dual power fists?
No, I just go, Androchiron, if you would please. Then I put my boot up on something.
Now, James, before I toss it to you and officially begin the episode, would you agree that this is Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Strings of Fate, Season 3, Episode 10, Obtenebricatus?
Obtenebricatus.
You took it from vampire, I guess.
No, I took it from a actual Latin word, which means to darken or cast into shadow.
I do that all the time whenever I walk in a lighted area, so I guess I'm a Obtenebricatus master.
I took inspiration from that video that somebody posted on Discord, like the guy about to die in space. And he's like,
Project Hubris is underway and everything is fine.
Yeah, all they have to do is break this log up into pieces, find it around the ship, and then send a cryptic warning in Latin.
Yeah. Oh, what am I doing to my face?
He does so many good skits.
Yeah,
I love the Swedish crime show drama.
No, it's Norwegian crime drama.
Norwegian crime drama.
It was you.
How did you know? You were the only one not at my birthday party.
Oh boy, James, since you're agreeing with that, I guess you can start your intro, which will then end with the start of the episode.
Oh, good. So look, I've had a really action-packed and good couple of weeks. There's been a slight change in my job circumstance, which I was I'm unsure about at first, where effectively the board has decided I needed some additional help and got somebody in, which was good because I think I was suffering from some serious work-life balance issues. I put it down to there was a Sunday a few weeks ago when we didn't play Rogue Trader, Sunday for me, obviously, and I was helping my son on his birthday build his birthday Lego. And all I could think in my mind was, I should be working right now. There's work I'm falling behind in because I'm not spending my Sunday afternoon working rather than spending time with my son on his birthday. And that was, I guess, a real sort of, realization moment. And now that this new guy's come in to help out with sort of splitting the workload, that's been a real benefit. So I'm able to sort of try to get on top of that. But I have been traveling a lot. I've literally I've done 2 trips interstate in 2 weeks. I'm doing another one. I'm leaving tonight, heading interstate again. So yeah, borders have opened up and so travel has resumed. I'm trying to get back to my frequent flyer status again. But I had some fun stuff this week. So my big thing this week is I finally got, which some of you have seen, my custom Saber Trio lightsaber that I had done by this mob in Malaysia. So it actually is it going to work? Okay, wait for it.
How much did you spend?
God. And look, you can tell the light's real because it's reflecting off of his chest. That's so Disney post 2010.
Yeah, so including shipping, about $600 US.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I keep
lightsabers don't come cheap.
Yeah, well, not the custom ones anyway.
Well, Saber Trio is one of the more expensive ones, but it's also one of the better quality ones. So
right.
It's all
can you hit something with it, or is it fragile? Like,
no, it's dueling quality. So and it flash on clash, and you can do like the whole blade lock in it. Does the whole flashing brightly for blade lock.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Pondo. A fly literally just walked over your lens.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I was trying not to point it out.
He's been infected by Nurgle.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Although, annoyingly, because Saber Trio is very popular right now, they shut their website down between when they have stock. And the only instructions you get is this card with a QR code to get your instructions, and of course the website's shut down, so you can't read the instructions. And I contact them and like, where can I get the instructions? They're like, I'll just wait 3 weeks until Black Friday when we reopen again. So
what kind of business motto is this?
This is the problem with always online gaming right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you change the color of the saber, or is it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can change the colors. You can do different sound files, everything for it as well. It can do like light effects, like you can have the unstable blade, like Kylo Ren's blade, like the thing where it's like raining, so you get like water drops, like make sizzling on the blade, that sort of thing. You can do it so deflecting blaster bolts, you get the flashes part out the blade. But speaking of gaming, this week I picked up Call of Duty Vanguard and Forza Horizon 5. I've already finished.
How is Horizon 5?
Vanguard. It's good. It's the same formula, just a different scene. This time it's Mexico. So if you like those sort of Gran Turismo / Forza Motorsport games,
you were supposed to get back to me about controllers. What happened about that?
I think I asked the question: did you want a wheel or a regular controller?
Yes, the wheel and pedals. Yeah.
I don't like wheel and pedals for games. To be honest.
Man, but then how do you do like J hooks and shit like that without being able to rapidly flip the wheel?
Well, I use a Xbox controller for it, so that's how I do it.
I guess I don't know how modern controllers
control cars. Isn't there usually a handbrake button that usually helps?
But you don't. Yeah, but I mean, like
you want a J-turn with a handbrake? What a monster!
It's a lot of feathering the brake and accelerator on the controller to get the to get the right drift and everything. So, like, I'm just so used to playing it. Like, okay, so I have raced actual cars, and there's feedback that no force feedback wheel is going to give you. And so I find that I've just gotten better with controllers for games than I have with wheels. I used to have the Xbox, like when I had an Xbox 360, the official Microsoft controller for that, and I played it for like an hour. Like, this is shit. What wasted $200? Maybe if I'd spent more time with it, I would have gotten better. But like,
let me say this, James: it's not just for Gran Turismo that I'm trying to get this controller. Certain members of my audience would like me to play SnowRunner, and I would like nothing more than to play SnowRunner with Spoon, while he sits nearby giving me instructions on how to get myself upside down in 2 feet of mud, and just like, nope, you're doing that. Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. Are you listening? This is the moment that I want to get to. And you know, when you're getting out of mud, you know, you want to jiggle the wheel, right? You want to try to get that traction going at a very low speed and a low gear.
Now, Arthur, if you want to get into flight sims and you want advice on a yoke, come to me then. Okay. But
I played Simulator 98 and 95, and that's about all the flying I ever need to do.
Okay.
I'll be like that kid from Snakes on a Plane.
So I
finished,
PlayStation. I finished the campaign of Call of Duty Vanguard, which is written by Stephen Rhodes, who had also worked on Wrath and Glory, and most recently did the story for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So the Vanguard story, they obviously wanted to have this very convoluted circumstance where, like, an American, a Brit, an Australian, and a Russian were all working together in a special ops group, you know, infiltrating Nazi Germany. So yeah, the story is a little bit convoluted, but I had a lot of fun with it, and it sort of flashes it flashes back to the characters' pasts at various major battles throughout World War II. So the Aussie character, it does the Battle of Trabuc and the Battle of El Alamein, and they've actually gotten Aussie actors for it, and they've done some cultural consulting, but I've never heard Nazis called fucking drongos so many times in my life.
I haven't heard them called that. Means. Interesting.
Yes. It's definitely an Australian expression.
Now, do they have the cursed customization in the campaign, or is that only multiplayer?
What do you mean the cursed customization?
Have you not seen the cursed customization they have?
There was no customization that I saw at all in the campaign.
There's some in the multiplayer. There's some cursed customizations that make no damn sense, but
okay.
If you haven't seen it, don't worry about it. I have nightmares from it.
So the other thing was that I got the other day, I didn't expect this, but I got a copy of the new Wrath and Glory book, the Forsaken System Player's Guide, which Cubicle 7 sent me. It was the manuscript, I think, was the last thing that I was looking at with Ulysses International before it moved to Ulysses he did it before anyway. Before it moved to Cubicle 7. So it references the work done by the likes of Ross Watson and Stephen Rhodes once again, but the book's been heavily updated and it's been written now by like a couple of the authors like Tim Huckleberry, Tim Cox, both of which have worked on Dark Heresy 2nd edition and with people we had on the podcast a couple of times too. So it seems that they've got a lot more content in it. Like there's nothing's really happened to change the system too much, but there's a lot more character options now.
Oh, is it like a second edition sort of deal?
No, it's more like what like Into the Storm is to Rogue Trader.
Okay. An expansion deal. Okay.
Yeah, and it goes into a lot more detail about the setting, gives you more sort of major locations and people of the Gilead sector for Wrath and Glory.
Did they figure out how you can have orcs and people and humans work together?
That's happened before. What's wrong with that?
Okay, that's purists. That's the problem.
No worries. I watched Shang-Chi last night, finally, because it went to Disney Plus for streaming. I was surprised it went straight to free streaming as well. It wasn't like Black Widow where you had to pay for it. So my wife and I watched that and had a good time with that. So I've still got to watch Eternals, which is getting awful reviews.
Yeah, it's missable.
June doesn't actually come out here until the 2nd of December, I found out. So I want to go see June here. But yeah, I need to get back to the cinema. So, but we enjoyed Shang-Chi. I would definitely recommend it. And I didn't really know much about the comic it's based on at all. So I guess it was a different take for me on seeing a Marvel film where I didn't really know much about the source material. And I guess last thing is I've made significant progress on my Space Wolves. So I've only got one squad left to finish painting, and then I'm done. So I can start actually like revealing it to my friends and having some games.
Yeah, we always want to hear about more Space Marines.
That's it for me though. So shall I go straight into the recap?
Let me put this here. I should mention, by the way, that the new description section mentions who plays Androchiron now.
Who is that? Up?
Nero was removed, so you know. Look, man, my chat harasses me. The audience is demanding of updates to the description section. Please, James, go ahead.
Previously on Rogue Trader, Things of Face. Arriving in the Icanthus system, the crew receives no response to communications sent to Port Suffering. The crew begins to overfly the world in gun cutters, led towards the abandoned town of Stern Hope by Androchiron's sense of something powerful happening in the warp. At Stern Hope, the crew discovers a mass ritual taking place, led by Sister Echo of the Order of the Cleansing Flame, with Sisters of Battle and the population of Port Suffering being forced to participate. Saint Dawn challenges Sister Echo, defeating her easily, though upon her death, the massive statue of the God Emperor overlooking the convocation transforms into a demonic Lord of Change. As gun cutters crash and citizens of Icanthos scream mutate around them, the group is able to lay the demon low, sending it back to the warp and ending the threat of the Order of the Cleansing Flame. Thought for the day: reach out to embrace the glories that will come. So I believe that the current plan is to make a beeline for the Koronus Expanse, but stopping by to check on the Heart of Majesty in Tranche.
That is the ideal plan. Yes, we'll see what happens in the midst of that.
See if I can distract you further.
Yeah, that's.
We'll have our mushroom episode, guys. That's good.
Does anyone need any further scenes before we depart from Icanthos to head towards Tranche?
No.
I'm looking at you, Arthur. You're normally the one with the scene.
The only scene involving Androchiron is just him wandering on the bridge with an IV drip, and when anyone asks, he's just like, I just prefer to do it the old way. You know, the eating food makes me uncomfortable now.
My jaws are getting sore.
Isn't the old way just paste? questions.
You can't have like a smoothie, like a dinner smoothie.
It's banana strawberry corpse. Just
cornstarch.
Yeah.
Banana strawberry cornstarch.
All right, so with everything done here, the ship heads back to the warp, heading for Tranche. All you really know of Tranche, I mean, you're not heading to Tranche itself. This is the station that you now own is near Tranche. Tranche itself is a hive world which has had significant issues with mutant uprisings on the planet recently, though according to the latest information, everything is under control on the planet's surface, but the population has been culled down substantially. But they really have no, like they're still recovering to the point they have no decent exports, and they rely heavily on imports of things like food and the like to sustain their population right now. Not that Icanthus has significant food you could pick up to take with you. When you arrive in the system, it's probably a good 3 to 4 days in-system travel, like away from the planet to get to where the actual station is. So the Kobe Soshi dockyards are a star-shaped, well, I say star, like a cross, sorry, like an X-shaped orbital shipyard. So it has room to handle 4 ships at any point in time for refits, with like a large central spire. So it looks kind of like is it a jack? Those little sort of like the things you used to throw. That's sort of like so it's shaped sort of like a floating jack in space. And you can see this ship which is currently moored to it, which the ship itself is longer than the extending arm of the station as such. So actual work would have to take part of the ship literally half at a time. You'd have to like work on the front half of the ship and then tow it off, spin it around, back the back half in to work on the back half. It's that much larger than the actual orbital arm of the station. And it looks like, I mean, the ship is clearly a hulk. It has been, well, give me common law war rolls at +10, those of you that have it.
That's the question.
Could I get an additional +10 for what is it, trade void something? Hang on.
Void right?
That might be it, yeah.
No, I'm going to say this is purely a question of war.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I not have that one
Let
yet?
me find.
Okay, I have everything. I just rolled with a -10.
Yeah. Spin roll 2.
You know, since he has it, I'm not even going to bother with it. I can't.
Okay, no worries.
I launched roll 20.
I mean, I don't have common lore war, so I can't. I had roll 20 launch, but apparently I exited out of it somehow.
Nice work, Dave. I'm going to assume that this is below Dawn's concern.
Dave shows up and he's just like, I'm helping.
I got into the trap where I kept on buying lores that the list kept on
just
growing.
buy this special ability that Androchiron has.
I don't know
So
if it's not in my thing. I don't know how much it would cost
advance
me.
it.
So the damage to the ship from the outside, it has clearly been damaged in warfare, but it's not just a case of macro battery hits or lance hits. There's been massive scale explosions that have happened on the outside of the ship that have buckled the entire frame inwards or disintegrated large sections of the hull. Whatever these munitions are, Androchiron isn't familiar, but you can definitely tell this is not conventional weapons. Spoon, Adrian recognizes, well, probably from pictures in books, because you don't really see it these days, these are the effects of atomic shells. So effectively, someone's fired spaceborne nukes at this vessel in the past.
Damn.
Believe you mean to say sacred atomics in modern Mechanicus parlance.
Yeah, well, they're not supposed to be used anymore. At least not in ship warfare.
I say, against heretics, is anything truly off limits?
Well, the Inquisition can still order their use.
Yeah. So Androchiron is going to go up to whatever viewing portal they have with his IV drip and like a electrolyte sports bottle. Take little sips of it. Am I? The ship there is. I can sense that it is fairly. Wow. What incredible damage. What could do that?
Atomic shells.
No, man.
It will take quite some time before this ship is void worthy again.
Yes. The machine spirit of it, which I don't know. Can I see that? Can I see machine spirits?
It's not a spirit. They're not actually a spirit. So
Okay.
they're nothing to do with the warp.
All right. Then I'm like, well, I can't see any closer than that then. There's something there. It feels like there's a texture there. A very injured texture.
Heavy Gear that had the thing where like the mechs developed personalities because they had like the black box that would get idiosyncratic over time.
Wow, Heavy Gear. Incredible. Hey, if you haven't played Heavy Gear, you might recognize a lot of Battletech models from it. Oh my god, the Naga, whatever the version of the Naga is in Heavy Gear 2 is fucking incredible.
Yeah, but hey, mechs with wheels. So they can skate. Didn't you? That's what happens. Heavy Gear, all mechs had wheels.
What is... Tracks. I just saw this. There's a one mech that's called an artillery mech. What's the name of it? It's literally just like two artillery cannons on fucking roller wheels. And it's still considered a mech. I'll look it up. You guys play the game.
Sounds like the Mach 4 from Robotech. But why are you looking up there? Google MAC-4 from Robotech.
Let's see.
So when are we switching to Battletech now? Is that what I want?
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, sorry.
No.
Lord.
Sorry, the Mach 2. The Mach 2, sorry. Mach 2. Anyway.
What did we give up for this thing again, Lord Commodore? What was our bargain? This was for that ship Nero wanted so badly, right? Correct?
Yes, he wanted the ship so badly.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all some real motherfuckers.
We also lost to Nero, if that also contributes to the cost.
Indeed.
You're being hailed by the station.
Oh yes. We also have the station, which is actually worth some money. So the ship is just more of a plus at this point.
Yes, perhaps it will be a fair trade after all.
I'll answer the box.
Okay. You get like a curt female voice over the Vox. There's no video on this one. It's just an audio link. This is Satrap Social Advance, in charge of Kobasorshi Dockyards. I received your ship ident. You must be a new investor.
Yes.
Yes. Trade Admiral Saul sent word ahead. Please come aboard. We should meet and give you a tour of your new facility.
Absolutely. Do you have a golf cart by chance?
We have several.
Okay. We lost ours recently, so might need to pick us up.
That's it. There's one golf cart on the whole fucking fleet out of 3 ships. Really?
No, there were 2, and Nero took his.
Oh my god!
Was there 2? I thought there was only 1.
You know what I just realized? Does the entire 40K universe call them golf carts? Do they have golf in the 40K universe?
It's British, of course they have golf.
It's Scottish.
They were mechanical
Yeah, no, they'd be like, flat terrain assault vehicle or something,
Yeah. Unnecessarily
a whole planet devoted to golf.
With a space you can put your club bag.
That's right. Yeah, we've got war worlds and forge worlds and golf worlds. So.
Golf worlds.
I mean, I assume it'd just be one of the luxury worlds, right? But just for golf.
Sure. Yeah.
And to the east, you'll see the never-ending sand dunes, sand traps. Sorry, sand traps.
That's right. Has anybody here seen the world's hardest par 3?
Mm-hmm.
In South Africa? No. Okay, it's only 80 feet from the pin to the hole, except that's as the crow flies. There's a 1,200 foot drop.
Oh my god!
so it's off the edge of a cliff, and the green's just like below it, but then surrounded by forest. So if you miss the green, you're in the forest.
Oh my god, that's wild! Holy shit!
Anyway, yeah. So you take actually you've got no gun cutters left right now, so you take I imagine the gun comes on order to replace the one that you lost.
Yeah.
So imagine you just take a shuttle down to the station itself.
They're all in repair, essentially.
Yeah.
So the dock is not that active. Like obviously there's no active repairs going right now. So it looks like a lot of the crew are just sort of going about doing maintenance activities for the dock or whatever they can still do on the Heart of Majesty. But you were met at the dock by this woman who you assume is Sorcha Levance. She wears a outfit derivative of like a naval officer, although she's clearly not Imperial Navy. More like it's more like a private uniform variation thereof, but without medals. Like she doesn't display accolades that don't exist. It's just tailored based upon like the naval tunic, and she's carrying like a handful of data pads as well, data slates. With her is clearly a tech priest. So with a pair of mechadendrites over his shoulders and the classic red robes. He's had, I'd say, a slightly less than average amount of augmentation done. So most of his face is still flesh. He still has 2 flesh hands, although you can still see signs of augmentation.
Oh, so he's ugly and Mechanicus standards. Got it.
Yeah, that's it. Too much flesh.
Hasn't fully committed. Understand.
Lord Commodore, I am Sorcha Levance. We spoke on the Vox. Please, I have some information slates here for you and your senior crew. She starts handing them out. This is our Forge Master, Quad Eric Demonstrandum.
Oh my god. Really, James? QED?
Yes.
Holy shit.
You're the Latin
today. No, it's a Latin phrase.
Yeah, it means proven
it's for
without
proof.
question.
Yeah.
You're
It
literally translates to that which has been shown.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Pleasure.
My apologies. Does this data pad come in Braille?
Oh, I'm sorry. She sort of turns to the tech priest, and he
No,
likes
it's okay. I'll just read someone's mind while they're reading their data pad.
We can organize you an audiobook version if you prefer.
Oh, thank you so much. How many pages is this?
207.
Okay, that's fine. Who's it narrated by?
It would be it'd be a servitor voice. So it'd be like a monotone. It'd be like listening to Microsoft Sam, where you read you technical specs.
Yeah, amazing.
That's fine. He has no other choice. So,
I mean, you are considered sighted for all intents and purposes.
Unless they're telling me that every single servitor sounds like Gilbert Godfrey, like I don't know where we're going with this. So.
So she gives you like a walking tour of the station. It's it's interesting. You learn things you didn't know about ship maintenance. Basically any ship they're able to fit components here. They're able to do rearming. They're able to do repairs. The only reason they haven't done more with the Heart of Majesty is they just lack the materials. Like they have the know-how. They have the tools. They have the equipment. They just don't. They just need more armor plating. They just need more power conduits. They just don't have the bits required to actually reassemble the ship. The data slate itself gives you some information about the Heart of Majesty itself, where clearly it was bombarded from behind as it fled from a ship that was prepared to use atomics against it. So most of the damage is in the aft section, so rendering the warp drive useless, the plasma drive useless. Have I actually put the stats on? I have, yeah. So no component is destroyed, but pretty much every component is considered to be damaged.
Okay.
Wow, the work you all do here is incredible. As a component of a ship, I've never realized how much goes into the other components of the ship.
Well, we have most of the ship itself is airtight. So if you wanted to do any checking aboard the ship, we can organize that as well. We have pressurized probably about 70% of the hull.
Androchiron will just sip on his electrolyte replacement drink and hold on to his IV fluid and say, I won't. I'm good.
Perhaps later.
Very
I'm
well.
curious about the bridge.
Yes. Did you have any questions for me that I can answer, or for Quote here?
No. Do we have a list of what needs to be purchased for repairs?
Yes, that's pages 116 through 135 on the data slate.
And how long, once the materials have been acquired, to affect the repairs?
Assuming that it's just the Heart of Majesty we're working on, we'd be looking at 2 months. That doesn't include space trials, or that's just the repair time.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
So probably what? Twice that? 4 months? 5 months?
Why would you be putting the ship on trial? What did it do?
Quote gives you, like Lisa says, the likelihood of component failure decreases rapidly the longer a space trials are extended for. I would recommend at least the 2 months. That would reduce your chance of component failure to 3 decimal places.
That's actually a decent amount of decimal places. Okay.
What about the operations of this space station? The shipyard will not be able to function while this ship is being repaired and trialed, correct?
As I said, that 2 months is based upon 100% of the station's resources being allocated to that ship. So we cannot work on any other ships.
But I assume that would put a serious hole in your operating budget.
Well, the only client we've had so far has been Trade Admiral Saul. Although I do understand he wants to bring the ship he's recovered from, or you recovered for him, here for some work once he is fully examined.
Yes. So it'd be probably closer to about 5 months while working on his ship to get finished, and then
if the Exchequer is the only other ship, as you can see, there were 3 empty berths.
Yes. Now we can bring in additional hands as well if necessary. Although when I say we, I mean you and the other investors would have to bring in the hands.
It's just Admiral Shaw, the investors. Are they the only ones, or they're
No. So he gave you his share. He owned a more than 50% share, so he's like a controlling interest. But there are three other investors who own the other 49%.
And do you have any other long-term clientele?
So since Trade Admiral Saul has been using us for his ships, we have not been taking other contracts. So we can make ourselves available to either the Imperial Navy or to Chartist captains. Trans is a bit out of the way. Saul had the station brought here from its original location to remove it from main trade lines. You can potentially tow the station to a different system to make it more economically interesting.
That's an interesting thought for the future.
I have several further questions. One,
yes.
Can we see your advertising materials? 2, is there a prospectus or maybe a ROI available for us?
So she gives you like a P&L statement and basically...
Perfect, James. I knew you'd know the terms for this better than me.
Yes. She basically gives you like the financial overview. So it's not been... Normally you prepare a prospectus if you're looking for new investment. This is just literally an understanding of the current financial position of the station itself.
Yeah.
So...
This is how much Throne Gout we spend. This is how much Throne Gout
Have
we
you
make.
covered your debt? What is your liquid currency reserve?
So to give you an idea, its stats are, it's got a size of 6, complacency of 3, productivity of 9, order of 3, piety of 2. It has no current.
Whoa! That last one, whoa, that's pretty low.
It has no hard infrastructure requirements. Currently has 2 power infrastructure, 1 water, 1 food, 1 communications, and it counts as an industrial facility. So it's worth, the whole station is worth 10 profit factor, but your share gives you 5 of that.
And we could probably invest more into it to get.
Yeah, we need to buy the rest of these people out.
Yeah.
Or you know how it is. You know, 2 people get 49%, and then you give some little kid the last 2%, and then he ends up stealing your company from you. You lose your dragon blimp. You're forced to fight in a virtual world.
I was about to be like, what is this, Shadowrun?
No, it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was saying it's more so Kaiba.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna adopt this kid. I'm taking your stuff. Mokuba? Dragon blimp. There's a dragon jet. I don't remember a dragon. That's besides the point.
He had a huge dragon blimp that they had a fight on top of. Don't worry about it. He had a dragon everything, man. Don't worry about it.
It wasn't a dragon blimp, all right? That's anyway.
So just in terms of what those numbers mean, so any stat that's higher than the size is good, gives bonuses. So because it's got a productivity higher than its size, that means it's considered productive and it gets bonuses to what it actually produces. Any stat which drops to 0 is a problem. So it's like 1 piety or 10 piety, is roughly the same, although if it's over the size, you get benefits. But the risk with it being low is when events cause things to drop by 1 or 2, is you can effectively bottom out something which starts, and it's a cascade effect. Once one thing goes low, it drags everything else down, and eventually the whole station or the whole colony backs out in negative.
If only we had some way to increase the religious fervor here. Like some sort of living saint who could do a USO tour while we're here. Maybe set up a small shrine.
Frida, sorry, why the fuck did I say that word? Sister Dawn basically is like, what? I'm sorry. What?
Business. Can we get a list of the other investors of this station?
Yes.
Excellent.
M. Bison. Dr. W. Wiley.
Okay, so the other investors, their names are
Bill Clinton.
I'm going to type these into Discord so you can see. Okay, so
Colonel Mustard.
Make sure I'm in the right. The last one I need to change the same one.
Wow, Pondo, that's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
How do you find your ball if you don't land on the fucking green?
That's the problem.
Is the ball injected with a GPS chip or something?
I think your answer is you don't. You pretty much need binoculars to, after you hit it, be like, all right, did I land? All right, I lost that ball.
Can't tell if James used a Warhammer 40K name generator or a Star Wars name generator for this.
Or just rolled my face on the keyboard.
I can believe that. That's the problem.
You play D&D.
Okay.
I'm always the motherfucker that makes the Bob character. Though.
Do we also know what roughly their share size is?
Yeah, so they're like a 20, a 19, and a 10.
Okay. Are they very vulnerable to assassinate? I'm joking.
I mean, that doesn't. Their shares don't instantly become free. It goes to their estate, then their estate will be executed. So.
Wait, they're not bonds? What are you talking about?
All right. That's a thing for the future, because this is, if it ever gets to it, it seems like a great investment.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get 100% of it, that'd be fantastic.
So because you have 51%, effectively they have no say in, it's they can say, hey, we should do this, and you say, I don't want to do that. So.
Sounds like such a alpha move.
Yeah.
No. The worst would be like, we should do this. Like, no, I shouldn't do this, but say the same thing.
Yeah. Like, nah, we shouldn't do that. Hey, do you
Let's
guys
do
want to do
this.
this thing? Yeah. Well, I believe, Lord Commodore, that this was supposed to be a short visit, as we have pressing matters to attend to.
Yes, we do. That the money can wait.
Okay, so you didn't want to check out the ship or its bridge, just wanted to...
I think briefly check out the bridge.
There's that fly again. Could you...
I've been trying to kill the things. It's been an awful year for them.
Okay. Do you guys have fly spray in the US? Is that something that you guys have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've sprayed the house about 3 or 4 times and they keep showing up. And
The secret tip is to clap your hands above them so that they die of shock.
I've smoked out my wife and dog because of
same
it.
as guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Rather than go on the ship, Androchiron is going to wait in the golf cart and stare at his IV bag as it slowly gets lower and lower. He's just like, delicious.
So the ship itself, everything, the first thing you pick up is that really stale smell, like where just nothing has happened for so long. The air has gone stale, because there's no movement or anything in the ship. That
you walk around the corner, Necron concierge shows up. He's just like, well, welcome. It's been a while.
The only thing about the ship is that it's quite ostentatious on the inside. So a lot of doorways have like gilt filigree around the entranceway. There is a fair degree of care has been made to make this thing look visually pleasant on the inside as well. It's not a component in itself, but it's just the style of the ship is it's very nicely done. The bridge
Very
itself
eccentric.
is sorry,
Very eccentric.
I suppose. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. The bridge itself is one of the most impressive you've been on. It's like a 2-tiered. So if you've ever been to like a theater where you've got like the mezzanine level and then like the level below that as such heading towards the stage or the screen. But effectively the main bridge is the lower level, which has like the captain's command throne and all the various stations. And then the mezzanine level is like an admiral's position where it has like hololith displays that would allow you to track multiple ships. It's got extra communication stations designed to relay information quickly between ships. It's this whole sort of collaboration system that allows effectively a dual control of the ship. One person focused on this ship, one person focused on the fleet. But every console is like Star Trek exploded in battle in the past, so
you can still see the corpse of young Will Wheaton slumped over one of the consoles.
There's a hole for Yamcha over there. Yeah.
Is there like I'd say like captains or admiral court, like the main quarters for the, well, I guess captain and or admiral?
Yes, so it has both.
Oh, okay.
And once again, very ostentatious. In fact, there is actually so there are 3 chambers that are sort of like the senior position. So one is very clearly the admiral's chamber. One is very clearly the captain's chamber. The other, which is the largest of the 3, would maybe be for some sort of visiting dignitary or something, but it's better than the other 2, although everything is upsized by about 50% or more. So almost like for a space marine, but even bigger than a space marine.
Interesting.
Like some sort of super space marine. What would we call such a creature?
3 space marines in a trench coat.
At this point, we're not in the Primera stage, so probably
It's Custodes.
No.
You can give me logic checks.
Literally Emperor. The Emperor commanded from this bridge. He was destroyed when the atomics hit. He just decided to come back and rewind time. It's just something he can do.
Ooh, that's
Oh
really close.
no! Oh no! Adrian, yeah.
I'll reroll.
Wow, you guys are bombing this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
sure.
All right.
I'll reroll. I've got a 20% chance to succeed. Oh
Wow.
my god, I did.
Look at this guy talking shit about himself.
Yeah, it's like you walk in, you go, I can't figure this out, and you're walking around, and like there's like that penny drop moment in your head when you go, shit, this is part of, according to the information, this is part of an exploration fleet. So this room may have been used temporarily by a Primarch.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I guess the question is which Primarch.
Yeah, you look around, there's like Nazi flags everywhere. Death to the Emperor. There's a picture of the moon for some reason. Who could it be? I don't know.
So you figured out from before what you were told. This ship served in the expeditionary fleet of the Emperor's children.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did get told that. Yeah. Oh, great.
Well, that explains why everything's so nice.
And eccentric.
Yeah.
So for your benefit, Dave, even though the Emperor's children sounds like a nice name, they are now a traitor legion.
It's just like when Beyonce left Destiny's Child.
Dedicated.
Sorry, what?
They're now a traitor legion dedicated to the chaos god of excess, Slanesh.
So you said a trade allegiance, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds nice. Like,
Yeah, that sounds good for us. A trade allegiance.
Need to sanctify this place and sanitize everything.
Agreed.
Have any of you guys got tech use?
Yes.
Yes, actually, I do.
Okay. So if you've got it, you can give me a tech use roll at -10.
Okay. Okay, I passed that.
Nice.
Fulcrum
Okay.
shows up. He's like, "Oh, guys, sorry I left my PDA here, so I'm really sad. Just hold on a minute. Let me just find it."
I mean, at this point, I think Fulgrim's like a 4-armed snake guy.
So you're able to pull some information. Effectively, you're able to get like a console up and running, and pull some information from it. So from what you can glean about the ship's like past log, was that it served in the expeditionary fleet up to the Battle of Isfahan 5, which is where the Heresy first took place.
The drop site massacre?
That's prior to the drop site massacre. Isfahan 5 happened first, and that was Isfahan 7, I think, is the drop site massacre. But effectively, this was one of the ships that Fulgrim pushed all of the Marines he didn't trust to join him against the Emperor onto. So effectively, they either push all the Marines. So it is fan. He
put all the loyalists in one boat so he could kill them later.
Well, he put most of the loyalist Space Marines on the planet, but he put all the loyalists, like officers and ship crew, onto this ship so they could destroy it if they didn't agree to join his side. And effectively, this ship tried to flee to warn to get to warp to warn Terra, but was
seen this
destroyed.
Before.
Yeah.
Fulgrim was like, "Join me or die. I am your father," and he was like, "No, I'm just gonna fall forever onto this gas giant."
So pretty much, it was destroyed trying to flee from the Battle of Isfahan 5 to warn Terra.
Fine, Han will get him. Oh shit, Han's gone.
The meme game is strong today.
Look, I just did the last 20 minutes of Empire Strikes Back for you right there.
All right, I've got nothing else I want to see in the ship at the moment until it's been fixed up more.
Yeah.
Did we ever get that teleportarium working? Whatever the fuck it was called.
It's going on this thing, right?
It's still in a flat pack at the moment.
Yeah. I think we want to put it on this thing though, right? The Heart of Majesty.
Would we still need to take it to Scintilla, or could we have it sent to here to put
Yeah,
on?
they can do it here. They can fit it here.
Yeah. I'd see. I mean, it'd be made for this thing, essentially.
That's what we need for the end of the campaign. James is like, "All right, I got 30 battle maps between you and your sister." We're just like, "Nah, we just teleport to her." We actually teleport so that our sword is inside of her when we come out of the teleport.
So it does have enough room and enough power when functional to sustain the teleportarium.
Yeah,
But it does mean less additional weapons and such, because teleportariums ain't cheap.
It's already full up on weapons.
Yeah, it's pretty stocked, I thought. I mean, this main thing is it's the big tanky ship that's going to go in and do boarding actions and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a broadside ship. It has no forward-facing weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to get right next to them almost.
It does have a fighter bay though.
2 fighter bays.
Oh, 2 fighter bays.
Adrian is upgrading himself from lead pilot to wing commander.
All gun cutters because got to double up on profits.
Sure.
Well, it has like spacing for like fighters and bombers.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
ones.
I don't know that you want to take gun cutters into a air-to-air battle in space, a space-to-space battle. I think you want something a little chunkier.
Well, you want something either faster or
I mean, gun cutters are pretty chunky from what I could tell, because ours took a multi-melto, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ground multi-melto. Vomit.
Yeah, the biggest problem would be its weapons I don't believe can fire in space. Autocannons and heavy bolters.
I thought bolters were able to fire in space.
You need to get a space fighter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. And second bay, get a bomber wing that's literally just a torpedo with an engine. We just steering column.
Now we get some.
We hire some Groots. What are the fucking orc things called?
Grots.
Yeah, we just hire them on a contract basis, 1 flight directly towards enemy.
Here, hold this stick that has a timer on it. Don't let go of it.
Yeah.
In fact, if you get in the ship, just run towards the nearest person or nearest glowy thing.
The only sanctioned use for orcs.
Gardeners?
Sorry?
He said gardeners. No, it's chefs, obviously.
Aren't they mushroom people in this?
Yeah, they're fungus.
They're fungus, that's right, yeah.
Come in 3 flavors: orcs, grots, and squigs that they eat.
Yeah.
Looks like mate's back on the menu, boys.
We need to get somebody here, a hair squig. So orcs don't grow hair. So when an orc wants to have hair, they grow special squigs that look like a living toupee. They get forced to sit on their head to be their head of hair.
So it's not hair; it's just flat.
Oh my god!
I will never look at the orc model again that has the little hair thing.
Gotta get the ZZ top orc.
Yeah, it's a hair squig.
It's gonna have
James,
2 of
you
them.
ruined Dawn of War. You
When you get back to Androchiron,
for me.
he's looking balefully at his empty IV drip. He's pulled the plug out of his arm. He's just like,
oh man, now I have to eat bacon.
What is tonight? I don't have any more business here if anybody else does.
No, I believe I've seen all I wanted to see of our flagship in waiting.
come on, Lord Cowles. I'm just here to make every scene worse.
I don't see how you could, but sure.
Silly.
So, are we ready to head back into the mall?
Yeah. We're gonna put away the potential get the rest of the shares side quest to later. And to start the side quest of getting the thing to distract the other side quest to get to the main quest. And then maybe get that side quest to go to where the old main quest was. Because we don't care about the main quest after it.
It feels like what you're describing there, because I've been playing the Old Republic again recently, and like the Old Republic has a very specific order of planets. And occasionally you'll get a thing where it's like, you're on planet 7, and it's clear the story is taking you to planet 9, but there's this convoluted reason why you've got to go to planet 8 first, because every other class does as well. So it's like, we know what we need to do on planet 9, but we can't do that until we do this thing on planet 8 first. That's what it feels like.
Did you rush your lightsaber? I bet you did. I bet you did.
Rush it? What do you mean?
rush. You know, there's a particular planet you go to first to get to the lightsaber stuff.
I think
you
that's
get,
part of
you
the
get
tutorial.
the first planet. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're talking about the MMO. Okay. So.
Yeah,
Are you talking
the old
about
one.
KOTOR 2?
No, I'm talking about the old
KOTOR.
MMO.
The first one?
Yeah. Sorry.
You can
Sorry,
rush
they're the same
lightsaber?
name. Yeah. There's a particular planet order you can go through.
I
And
thought
you
you
get, like,
just,
six
after Taurus, you go to Dantooine and then you get the lightsaber.
You can.
In KOTOR 1, you do. Yeah. KOTOR 2, you get your first lightsaber after you beat whatever world you do first when you get the choice of worlds.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's been so long since I played KOTOR 2, and I remember barely any of it.
Yeah. All right. So everybody returns to the Hand of Calixis and the other ships. And okay, for the interest of like moving things along, is there anything that you needed to do or wanted to do first off in Port Wanda before heading to the Jericho Gate?
Not that I don't think I have any business. No, I think we're pretty much got whatever we wanted.
I was wondering if we could do a montage like the Wake Me Up Before You Go from Zoolander, where we just wander around drunk in a car.
Have a petrol fight. It's like gasoline fight. Yeah.
The only thing I can think
Prometheum
of,
fight.
the only thing I can think of is try and see if I can get the staff that I have acquisitioned fully. So that way, if it goes bad, I could just get it replaced, technically speaking.
You mean what stuff? You mean the Necron
evil
War
Necron
stave?
staff?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Huh?
You're like, can I get this sourced?
Yeah.
Why don't you pry it from their cold, dead hands?
Okay, so I
Again.
I can't officially have it acquisitioned. I'm just screwed on that part. Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, look at that. So it is unique. So you don't
Yeah.
get bonus for only wanting one of them, and it's a straight. It's minus 50 at the start. Unique.
Isn't it that I could get a roll one? I could have it. That'd be about it.
Yeah, pretty much. If you roll a natural one on T100, then sure.
You roll any higher than that, James
then-
takes the staff from you.
Yep, no.
Wow, holy shit! Oh, no.
That's a 98.
Why
for
bother
those
though,
owned.
Pondo? Why bother?
I wasn't really going to, but I thought, why not? You know,
With rolls like that, man.
I'm willing to roll high today, apparently, which is not good. Not good at all. Yeah, that's about the only thing. Other than trying to get conversion shields for everybody, because those would be nice. I don't know what difficulty that'd be, but that might be another thing for another day.
So, Androchiron,
Yes.
one thing that you've picked up is that since you've left Tranche heading towards the Moor, is that the Space Marine Captain, Ed Bourne, has been making a lot greater use of the choir's facilities. He's been sending a lot more communications back to his chapter. Now it's all done through, you don't know what he's communicating. It's part of the way it's set up is that, you just send the message, you don't actually perceive its content, but it is conspicuous in it, given that he was doing very little previously. He's now being very active in his communications.
I'll request a private meeting with him.
With him? Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. So he'll come to your. Effectively, you've got like a. Do we work out? Are you still the Astropath Primaris, or are you?
No. Listen,
okay,
James, I was very clear. I am not an officer on board the ship. I don't have a job. I wander around. I don't even deliver messages anymore. I literally just wander around until somebody needs a psyker.
Okay, no worries. So he will meet you in like a private chamber that's neither yours nor his. Just you get a meeting room.
Yeah.
You book the what are all the meeting rooms on the ship named
The
after?
Chesapeake room, of course. I know it well.
I mean, now that Nero's gone, the room is
walnut
booked
desk.
much less.
Oh, look at the sheen on that thing. You can tell that this is being taken care of.
Yeah, it's like I was in office this week where all the meeting rooms named after beaches in Australia, for example. So there's like Bondi Beach and Great Barrier Reef and something. So
The Bondi boys. I know them well. Yeah.
Yep.
I sit down across from the captain and go, "Wow, incredible! I'm honored to meet you, sir. Incredible."
you requested this audience.
Of course, yes. About the meeting, you I've been noticing you have an uptick in traffic through messaging. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. If there was any hospitality that this ship could extend to you. If you needed your messages sent privately, I can personally deliver the message for you if you need that kind of service.
Would you say that you have your captain's ear?
No, not even slightly. He doesn't even bring me on some of the trips. I want to be very clear here. I am approaching you as a lowly... I am a mutant. How could I have the ear of such a great and wonderful captain?
How much do you know of my chapter, young psycho?
Basically everything. I'm very well read.
So, you know that we place great stock in our librarians.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I understand the crew has encountered a librarian in particular whose name is mentioned several times in our logs.
So prognostication and foresight are key guiding principles of the Silver Skulls. There are things at play that I'm not comfortable with. I wish to speak with your captain. Please make my interest known to him.
Okay. I just walk to a wall telephone. I'd call the bridge or just like, excuse me, Space Marine Captain Bourne would like to speak with the Lord Captain as soon as possible. You can send him to the Chesapeake room if he's available right now, or we can do it another time. Who am I speaking? Adrian, is that you on the phone?
Yes, it is. What are you doing again, Androchiron?
Oh, I was speaking with Captain Bourne here, and he just wanted to talk to the captain. Apparently, there's portentous events, prognostication.
And he told you this?
He told me to get the captain.
Very well.
I am always at the service of everyone.
I will pass along the message.
Okay.
And
should I
puts his hand over?
Yeah, I was gonna say, should I put myself up? I'll go call this number back. I'm gonna hang up.
It's an amenable thing. So it's amenable here that when you go to the train station, and God's sake, one day.
I know. I'm sorry.
Hit him with the clap. I'm telling you, you got to shock him.
Okay. So
I've killed I don't know how many flies now, and they just keep coming around.
So it's a meme here that when you go to the train station, when they have announcements, they are completely impossible to understand because they have the worst.
That's true everywhere but Japan, man. It's fucking crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just imagining I'm just imagining it's like a bosun's whistle followed by a very muffled, Lord Commodore to the Chesapeake room, please.
We really need to fix either those mics or those speakers.
It's definitely the mics. It's not the speakers.
Or other people need to learn not to put the mics in their mouth as they talk.
Chat says you need to figure out where the eggs are being laid, Pondo. I got your back. Chat knows a lot, or they know nothing.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I've been getting annoyed.
The eggs for what? Sorry, for the flies. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. My house was invaded by bees last year, and I had to get an exterminator to get rid of them.
Yeah. I'm eventually probably just gonna have to snuff out the whole house.
Do you come to the Chesapeake room?
Yeah, I come to the Chesapeake room.
All right, so Androchiron will welcome you in and then close the door from the outside.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, exactly. He just leaves at that point. He's done his job.
No, well, like when you go to close the door, Bourne says, you may as well stay.
Oh, of course. If I am at your service, normal human non-mutant.
Right.
I close the door from the inside.
Yes. Lord Commodore, as you know, my chapter spent a lot of time in divination and establishing the order of things to come. My psychers sense some deception about this Inquisitor on board. there is something more to this this journey than he would have us believe.
Honestly, the aspect of an Inquisitor having something under, not telling the full truth, is not unbelievable. I don't believe you. Do you have any idea what it could be?
Based upon the sensations that my prognosticators have felt, he is guiding us to something he doesn't fully understand, and his confidence is a facade. He doesn't know what he's asked of us. He only is telling us what we want to hear to pursue it. Yes, it is a form of hubris.
Is this
Pierre
related?
tries his best impression of a feign shock.
Is this related to the project tracking some sort of null signature beasts? Do you think?
It's hard to tell, though. Perhaps the fact that our prognosticators have not been able to predict past certain points would indicate that the shadow cast by the beast has impacted their visions.
I want to ask James because, first off, Androchiron has little knowledge of this except that he was a part of the search. Was it the Space Marine captain that asked us to do this, or was it the Inquisitor that asked us to track the Hive Fleet?
It was Nero.
Yeah, but who asked Nero originally? Though?
Oh.
I believe it was this. It was the
Nero asked to do the.
Yeah, but it was the Inquisitor.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, so this is all his design. All right, but Androchiron doesn't know that, so he's just gonna.
When we arrive at this watch fortress, I will leave your company for a time to find there are battle brothers of my chapter that serve in that fortress. They may be able to give me some more insight into what the Death Watch is up to, or at least the Auto Xenos.
I'll be sure to
I could just
this...
read his mind, you know. That sounds extremely dangerous, unethical, and illegal, but I could do it.
That's a tempting offer, Andrew. I'm not going to lie. It's nice having someone that could do that, but also very disturbing at the same time. No offense.
Thank you.
Okay. So
I am not offended. I am a worm, an insect, like an annoying fly on a camera.
Right.
So give me anyone that's got Forbidden Law Inquisition can roll that at +10.
Oh, excellent. I can do that for you. Because I am a guy who's not an Inquisition agent, but has that skill.
That's a cool +80 for me.
What about Forbidden Lore Warp?
I'll take Forbidden Law Warp at -10.
Also, sorry about my departure there for a sec. My wife is incredibly pregnant, and she couldn't get to the bathroom.
Okay.
So she's yeah.
There's two ways to interpret that. I'm gonna choose to interpret that you helped her get there.
Yes. No. I
didn't even think about the other way.
Wave
so
off!
James pointed
Wave
out.
off! Go around for another pass. Don't land this one. Nope. Just keep going, James. Keep going.
Yep.
Yep. Just
help
go.
to waddle over to the bathroom, basically. So yeah.
Good. So you would be aware that Strain, as a member of the Inquisition, almost certainly has multitudinous layers of psychic protection or conditioning.
Yeah, we actually know that.
Yeah.
No, like not Androchiron, but we personally know that he does because he did the secret ceremony of the Irish wolf people.
Yeah.
Was it him or wasn't it the Death Watch librarian?
Yeah, but his death. There's no way that he doesn't have the same psychic protections that he offered to Nero.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But Strain is not a psyker. He's definitely not a psyker.
Right, but neither was Nero.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This guy definitely got the ritual.
You're correct. Yeah. Okay. So let's not do that then, in case he becomes privy. Though I guess in that case we could just say that Andrew was doing it out of his own volition, and
I would be honored to die for your cause, Lord Captain. It would be the greatest moment of my entire life, besides seeing the God Emperor with my own dying eyes.
that won't be necessary at the moment.
Okay, we'll put it on the
I'll
checklist.
let you know when your sacrifice will be necessary. Is what that means to me.
The sense of things here, Lord Commodore, is that what Shrain does is not doing in your interests. It's not necessarily counter to your interests, but he is using you for something. He may not understand even what yet.
I honestly am not baffled, obviously, as I don't know how much you have been in dealings with the Inquisition, but from what I have been doing, there's definitely always something afoot.
This has been an incredible conversation to be privy to, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
You just need to make sure you keep your mouth shut, Andro.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he turns to you, Androchiron. I leave it to you, little one, to ensure the safety of your captain. You have the foresight that will allow you to make the decisions that those of us who cannot see the eddies of the warp.
Prognostication is my weakest branch.
Well, it's a good thing you have several weeks to practice before we arrive, or several days to practice.
You're like, you have such strong foresight, and he's like, I got like 200 XP in it. Okay, calm down, man, calm down. I can read some fucking cards. That's about it.
I'll let you know whatever information I find out or I become privy to, if you can let me know what you find out.
I am honored to be tasked, Captain Thorne.
Obviously, the members of your chapter that are working with the Death Watch will have a little bit more information on what this entity, this shadow in the warp, is actually about, or what it consists of. I imagine it's big enough to be able to go through a Death Watch fort. It's not something so easily taken care of as what Shrain makes it seem to be.
Well, we'll see what happens. I won't contact you again before we arrive. I need to prepare myself.
Absolutely.
He gets up and leaves.
Rude.
Oh, there's someone had to leave with the last word.
Did you need to say something, Lord Captain? Witty?
No, the conversation was very well done.
Okay. Androchiron leaves without saying anything.
You almost did it. I heard you say
I
it.
did. I had to walk it back. I had to walk it back.
All right. So, surprisingly, your warp journey into the Maw, to the Jericho Reach, to the Jericho Gate, all these things progress smoothly. You don't have unusual warp phenomena going on. Just the regular vagaries of warp travel. You enter the Jericho Gate, the one thing you did before, and emerge in the Well of Night on the far side. Once again, all of the facilities that you set up, the relay stations, are all still functioning normally. And you are transmitted navigational data to reach the Watch Fortress, which is not in the system. Oh, actually, it is, sorry. Adrian has a son as well. So you follow the directions. Riani navigates. It takes a bit longer because she's navigating unfamiliar space. But when you arrive in a system where the only features are a dying sun and this gigantic Ramillies-class star fort, which is Watch Fortress Eriok. So it's a similar structure to what Port Wanda would have been before it was rapidly extended. So it's still in good original condition, but it's a giant four-pronged space station with, you can literally dock your ship to it. You don't need to worry about taking a shuttle across. There are no other ships currently in dock, and you're given clearance to one of the docking arms to join with.
Cool.
How wide is a docking arm on a ship this big?
Like a couple of kilometers across.
Okay. It's just it's about 2 people wide.
No, you can drive large tanks through it and everything as well. It's fine. So is everybody going aboard the Watch Fortress?
Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Can I get just a real quick summary? Just quick.
So this Watch Fortress is operated by the Death Watch, which is an all-space marine group of the Ordo Xenos of the Inquisition. So the background you're reading here is that the Inquisitor asked you to come here because he felt there was some artifact that could be recovered here that would allow you to divert the Tyranid Hive fleet away from the Dark Eldar world where you plan to recover Talon Balewing.
All right. Okay. Then, I would come. I would jump off.
Okay.
Adrian is also going to go.
Androchiron will appear if his services are requested.
I'll take Andro. I can always use a.
It's like your Mass Effect party. You got to pick who you're going to bring. Androchiron is at the side, like, oh, you can get me, if you need it, no big deal. If you don't,
It's like those the old selection, party selection screens where when you mouse over the person, they look up and
exactly.
Move away from they just look back down again. So waiting for you in the dock. So this is once you get inside, it looks nothing like a Ramillies class starport on the inside. So whereas normally this docking yard would be a huge open area, like a longshore for loading and unloading cargo, it's been subdivided into multiple levels. You've just entered basically into a corridor. That being said, the corridors here are still Space Marine sized. So waiting for you is a Space Marine in black power armor. He has all sorts of decorations and appellations on his armor that would indicate he's obviously a Space Marine of some rank. His right shoulder pad shows the teardrop symbol of the Blood Angels.
Wait, who's the one that want to kill us? The Dark Angels?
Dark Angels.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So there are 3 people here. The second person is a man wearing gold power armor, very, very sort of ostentatious, but it still looks expertly crafted. He's got think of like a conquistador style thin moustache and pointed beard, and those sort of classic sort of Spanish features. On his back, he has a long cloak made out of some sort of lion-like creature's pelt, to the point that it ends at the head is still attached to the cloak, and the head sits over his shoulder. So it looks like a lion, except that it has a giant central eye and 2 pairs of small eyes to either side of the central eye. The head's obviously been taxidermed, so the eyes are like glass orbs now, but they're sort of this tiger's eye yellow. Yeah. So
when you initially described it, I thought that the head was being dragged behind him. So anyone behind them be looking at the head, stare back at them, be like, "What's up?" No, please continue.
Yeah, and the third figure is a woman who looks to be probably by our standards late 50s, early 60s. She still has dark hair and a ponytail, but she's got this sort of that grey streak through each side that sort of starts at the temples and goes back. You're not sure whether it's been affectation she died in or her hair's just naturally gone that way. She's waist thin, and she's wearing imagine you took all the plating off power armor and all you had was the exoskeleton with all the servos that drive the actual strength. She's effectively got that on, almost was it District 9? No, District 9. Sorry, what was the Matt Damon one that was directed by Elysium? Elysium, yeah. More so like that power frame connected to the back and giving her some amount of stature, because otherwise she's quite small and thin. But she also has inquisitorial symbols and symbols of the Ordo Xenos on her as well. The Space Marine sort of steps forward and he looks at you all, and he then looks past you like he's expecting somebody else. And when he realizes no one else is coming, he turns towards Pierre. You must be Lord Commodore Cowles, yes?
Indeed I am.
I'm Watch Captain Mortigale. I am the Master of Vigil here at Watch Fortress Erioch. I welcome you aboard, you and your crew.
Pleasure. Our visit won't be too long, hopefully.
Tell me, is Nero Augustus Julius Bullet with you?
No, unfortunately not. He has a fight elsewhere.
He is known to many of the brothers of this facility.
Smash cut. He's holding a baby. It's vomiting on him.
This is the greatest battle I have ever undertaken. Listen, it's Nero. He would be running around with the baby facing forward, trying to spray people with the vomit. Look, my daughter. Learn well. This is how one aims.
Allow me to introduce you to Lord Militant Solomon Tetrarchus. He indicates towards the man in gold, the Lord Militant of the Achilles Crusade, and this is Inquisitor Hezekiah Camillus, our Inquisitor of the Chamber. So this other, the guy in the middle being a Lord Militant, he's one of the few people you've actually met that outranks you outright in the Imperium. So effectively, he holds a position that like Horus held as like the War Master. So he would have been appointed by the High Lords of Terror.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only people he answers to is the High Lords.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just done some D's nuts jokes every time they ask for a report.
So is he above Inquisitor Lords or?
Yes. Yeah. Well, so Inquisitor Lords, like an Inquisitor Lord still reports to because they report to the High Lord of the Inquisition, who is a member of the High Lords. So, but they once again, there's jurisdiction issues. He is effectively the highest ranked member of the Militarum of the Imperial Guard. But yeah, he can only be appointed by the High Lords, whereas an Inquisitor Lord can be appointed by another Inquisitor. So,
what the hell is this guy doing in a backwater?
That's a good question.
Casual window shopping?
Please come with me. We'll brief you on the on what will happen in the next few days.
Yes, I have many questions too. Now I see the Lord Militant here.
Keep your questions until we go somewhere secure. We will.
I will do.
Yeah, he like pulls out like it goes through his wrist and like comms into his wrist. Prepare the chamber. We have. He looks back at you. 7 coming in.
We have questions.
So you'll walk for like the best part of an hour through this station. It is maze-like. There's no sort of clear order of structure, and it looks like it's been built up over time with all sorts of different architectural styles. Some of it very ostentatious, some of it not so much. You occasionally pass other Space Marines who give like a fist, hand to the chest salute towards the watch captain, and maybe just regard you with a nod. He doesn't take any effort to like say, on your left you'll see this. This isn't a tour. This is simply a long walk to get to where you're going. And in fact, any attempt to make conversation, and he shuts it down with, we'll talk when we reach the chamber. So it's a really long, silent walk through the station before you enter a large chamber. You made your way up, so you're near the top of the station right now, and this is a domed ceiling, like a glass dome, which sees out into space, and it's arrayed so that the dying sun is. In fact, if you were staying in the middle of the room, you look straight up, the dying sun would appear through the very central facet of the dome. So the only illumination in this room is the light of the sun plus 9 sort of torch sconces in niches around the room. There is a large planning table in the center of the room, but no chairs. And the captain and Lord Militant and Inquisitor all go to stand around the table, and you're invited to stand there too. Actually, it should be 8 because Shrain has also come with you.
I was wondering about.
He does that
Shrine.
thing where he just pops into existence next to us.
That's
The
right.
cutscene starts, and he was already a member of our party. You know what I mean?
He's T-posing until he fully loads.
Should have sprung for the SSD.
Yeah, gotta let the animation load.
Androchiron will go stand next to the Lord Militant as much as possible. He's like, ooh, this guy, he's got stuff going on here.
Yep. In fact, I believe he actually has a not a null, but he effectively has like a talisman that's designed to.
Never mind. Move away from him quickly.
Yeah.
I go to the other side of the table.
Yeah, it's not as bad as a null, but it's not pleasant to be around. Yeah.
That's fine.
So.
Which is the exact opposite point.
Androchiron's grandpa Simpson's the Lord Militant.
He tries to play it off cool too, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn around. He just keeps walking around the table until he returns to his original point.
One of the once the doors of the chamber seal, there's this sort of audible mechanical hum or like a feedback loop almost that doesn't hurt your ears, but you certainly pick up this like edge of human frequency hearing sound, and then you don't hear the torches in the room. It's like everything's being set up so that the audible range is very, very limited. So those of you around the table can all hear each other, but anything more than a few feet away from the table is completely inaudible to you.
Wait, there sounds of torture happening?
No, it's
torches.
Okay.
Torches. Yes,
we're getting white noise generator, Hondo.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, if you're not used to it, you probably get a little bit dizzy at first because it fucks you with your inner ear.
No, I just imagine in 40K, there's like a way that they do white noise that by just torturing people around the area. I can see it happening. No.
Ambient torture noise.
Yeah.
Diablo 1. Yeah.
Now, you have questions.
Several now that the Lord Militant is here. Considering that he's in such a backwater as this area is.
So the Lord Militant comes at this point. I've come to see what it is that's so important that the vault will open now for you. The vault only dispenses equipment, value or information valuable to our actions here in the Koronus, in the Reach. So the fact that I understand that you have come from the other side of the warp gate, seeking to take whatever artifact it is back to the other side, intrigues me.
Hello, Androchiron. Just wanted to jump in here real quick. Psyker, Astropath, Transcendent. Just wanted to mention, how do I phrase this? I have received instructions about the future that indicate that removing this item may be dangerous. Technically true.
Yes, that's right there. And there are some no-dar looks among the NPCs. Like, you just said the most obvious thing in the room.
Look, I apologize, gentlemen, ladies. I just wanted to pass along my piece. This is literally the only thing I do.
The Omega Vault sits at the center of this installation. It is ancient, still built by human hands, but exactly by whom or for what purpose we have not yet been able to divine. The Omega Vault opens when it chooses to. It always leads those who enter to a single item, artifact, piece of knowledge, which is relevant to whatever is currently at hand. Always something to do with the war here in the Reach. Then it closes again until the next time it opens. We've been able to predict through certain methodologies when the vault will open. The vault will open in 48 hours. And Shrain here, he indicates what Shrain, tells us that the vault opens for you. And at this, I'm not going to do NPCs to NPCs, but there is a momentary verbal spat between the female Inquisitor here and Shrain, where effectively, you know, she calls out Shrain for being, you know, too low in the order. How can he, you know, what information could he possibly have that this fortress doesn't have? And he tries to do the whole sort of like, you know, I can't say it's the faction he works with obviously is keeping it a secret. You know, she asserts her authority over him, and he basically does the take it up with my manager type thing. So there's like a momentary pissing contest between Shrain and Carmillus before they relent.
I think Pierre, let's see if we can kind of butt in.
Yeah.
Amongst their crotch measuring contest, essentially. Yeah. As to why the vault's opening now, I was not privy to the information that this vault chose when it wanted to open. The main purpose I needed from it is that Shrain told me about a piece of artifact that brought a signature that could attract this.
Shadow in the warp.
Yeah, sir.
When you say that, she turns back to Shrain again. You can't possibly know that. Look, I have my information, so they need to go in there and they need to get it out, and that will be able to use that to deal with this issue regarding the Hive Fleet, which you let, and he indicates towards the captain, you let get past you into the Koronus Expanse.
Obviously, there are several different sides to the story. Shrain only knows one side. You all have your separate side. My question is, how big is this Hive Fleet that I've been told about?
So at this point, the captain comes in with, do you mean the Hive Fleet in total, or the part which got through to the Koronus Expanse?
I think like Pierre soaks in this information real quick. The part that got into the Koronus Expanse, I'll say for now.
Approximately a dozen large organism vessels and between 50 and 60 small organisms.
How large are these organisms?
The largest of them would rate similarly to a Grand Cruiser scale Imperial vessel.
So you're saying they have like 50 cruisers?
No. He said they have like 12 cruisers.
Oh, that's still
like
pretty bad.
50 escorts. Yeah,
some
it's still
fast battleships
fleet
in there. Yeah.
I think Pierre just kind of turns to give Shrain an eye before turning back to the rest of the group.
Yeah, and when the captain says it, he turns back to Shrain, and it is like, this is not something you simply stand in front of and direct it away, Inquisitor.
Thank you for that information. I suspected that this would have not been such an easy thing to take care of. Now, as for the artifact that I speak about, that apparently was not supposed to have information on, regardless of what that fact is, if this artifact does what I need it to do, which is to cause a distraction for that Hive Fleet, so that way I can go rescue a...
Sir.
What?
Do they really need to know the contents of our mission?
Fair enough. Essentially, I'm going to try to get some allies to help fight this Hive Fleet, because it being in the Koronus Expanse is not good. And there being 12 cruisers plus 50 other escorts of Lord Emperor only knows what capability. I'm sure you all know, but you all will tell me. As look where I am, the place of super secrecy. So
We're also looking at you.
Yeah. So I cannot give you the answer as to why this vault opened for me, other than some strange deal of fate by probably the Emperor himself.
I mean, that's obvious, Lord Captain.
Thank you, Don.
That is truly the only answer that you need to that question.
So at this point, the Lord Militant pipes in. Tell me, Lord Commodore, you have a fleet of ships, three warships. You have an Imperial Living Saint among your crew. You've come here because you told me that prognostication points towards the Omega Vault opening something for you. Given that the Omega Vault only provides aid to the actions in the Reach, would I not be able to divine then that is the Emperor's will that I press you and your crews into the service of the war effort in the Reach?
I never said that I knew it opened for me. I just know that it's open and has a thing that I need.
Right. At this point, Shrain starts a pissing contest with the Lord Militant about the fact that he needs you for stuff in the Koronus Expanse, and that while technically he outranks you, he can't just force you into service. Your warrant, was penned by. You got an ancient warrant, don't you? So, did we determine that your warrant was like penned by the Emperor originally? Was that old or not?
Yeah, because I had the Archaeotech deal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
it's an old clan, an old dynasty.
It's an old code, but it checks out.
In any case, like he's like pushing that, while the guy has technical jurisdiction, it would be hugely problematic for him to to try and force or anything, because rogue traders would see what he does as a threat to their continued business existence and their ability to operate in the Imperium and et cetera, et cetera. So that takes another couple of minutes to die down as well.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question here. How do we, as James would call it, manage up these people? I don't know that we want Shrain handling our side of the negotiations. This is a man who, whenever we go into danger, he's like John Travolta meme his way out of it.
That's right. So sorry, my mother's calling. I need to.
Pierre will, after this, aside from issue being that, yes, if you try to force me under your command, there would be issue with amongst the other rogue traders if they find out. Let's do this from a business standpoint, because our goals are relatively the same at this point at the moment. Again, obviously, living state under my employ. Well, as much she wants to be under my employ, she really, as at this point, does whatever she wants. Because who am I to tell her what to do?
Allow me to suggest, Lord. This is still 4 minutes. Let me suggest, Lord Commodore and Watch Captain, that we do things this way. When the vault opens in 2 days, we accept Inquisitor Shrain's suggestion of what has happened here, and the Lord Commodore and his allies go into the Omega Vault, recover whatever it is the Vault has chosen to offer up at this time, and when they emerge with it, we determine exactly what it is and what aid it will give the Lord Commodore, either in the Expanse or here in the Reach. And we decide then whether or not to release this, whatever artifact information it is, to Lord Commodore's care.
But if there's a disagreement? There's multiple parties here. There's a fairly good chance all 4 people will not agree.
So the captain pipes in. This chamber, which has existed here for over 1,000 years, is to hold a council of minds to reach agreement when agreement should not normally be reached. I'm not saying that every single discussion that has entered these halls is always resolved in such a way that everybody is happy with the outcome. But I trust that we are all adults here and can...
No, you, Shrain, you suck it.
Captain, what you just said about the all adults thing seems to be a bit, well, I don't have to explain. He kind of just eyes the Inquisitors, and not so much the Lord Militant, because he's kind of above his pay grade.
In any case,
if such agreement can't be reached, I am still the senior representative of this facility.
Very well. These terms seems adequate.
We need to begin to prepare the 4 of you. I assume that it's the 4 of you that will enter the Omega Vault.
I think we all look at Shrain to see if he's going to come with us.
We all simultaneously do the
Of course not. He'll wait at the entryway, and then he'll immediately snatch whatever we have out of his.
Somehow Shrain is like stepped in a position where like none of you can look at him without looking through somebody else. Like he's behind the captain somehow.
He's got. Oh, hang on! I need to take this call and step away from the table.
He dropped the thrown belt on the ground, so he had to bend down and pick it up, so he's no longer visible over the top of the.
Shrain is becoming Jafar from Aladdin right now. Like give me the lamp.
I hate that you're right. Now I just see Shrain with the pencil mustache and the weird curly
James
beard.
will tell us as we go, and it's like, remember, don't touch anything other than the artifact the cave tells you to pick up. It's like, okay.
Really brought that one together, guys.
Yeah.
So the captain wants to dismiss everybody and then start preparing you for what you need to know to enter the vault, which we will do after we take a break.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. I have some questions, James, but we'll do that after the break. Friends, we'll return in like 8 minutes, probably more like 10, since everyone's going to eat something.
No, I've already, because it's now something's changed. This is like lunch was before the show.
Oh shit! 8 minutes now, guys.
I'm going to top up my drink. That's it. And go to the toilet probably.
Next level. We'll be back.